I recently made zucchini muffins with my frozen zucchini that I had from the garden from this past summer. I always like to double this recipe to give some away. I started by mixing all of my dry ingredients, which was 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Then I added all my wet ingredients to a bowl, which was 3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of vegetable oil, and 4 eggs, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I gave that a good mix and then added that to my dry ingredients. If you like to grow zucchini in your garden, make sure to go back and watch my previous video on how I preserve my zucchini from my garden. Once everything is mixed together, I went ahead and added my zucchini. I squeezed out all the juice prior to adding it in, so I ended up adding about 3 cups of zucchini. I gave this a good mix and then started on my streusel topping. This part's totally optional, so if you don't want the extra sugar, just skip this step. This is half a cup of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar and brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and a 1/4 cup of butter. I used my pastry cutter to cut up the butter and made sure everything was mixed together well. I ended up making 1 loaf and then the rest I made zucchini muffins. The only difference is the bake time. I filled the loaf pan about halfway and then added my streusel topping on top. Then I sprayed my muffin pan and added the rest of the dough to these. I preheated the oven to 350 degrees and put in the muffins and the bread. The muffins only took about 20 minutes to bake, and the bread took about an hour. These turn out so moist every single time and are definitely one of my highly requested items. If you're planning on growing zucchini this year in your garden, make sure you save this and like it for later. Here's what they looked like when they came out of the oven, and it was smelling so amazing in the kitchen. Make sure to follow along to see what I'll be baking next.